Hey everyone, it's Eric Snell, the author of the Pleasantly Realistic Fit Businessman book. And today we're going to go through the two, yes, only two, not five, not 10, just two things that are good to keep in mind if you want to preserve muscle when you're cutting for a photo shoot or for a wedding or for just losing weight in general. Now, this is not healthy to do. I don't think any extremes are healthy to do, but I think if you do this in moderation, even if you're just trying to lose weight and perhaps maintain a little bit more muscle and not just, lose fat and muscle at the same time, these two pieces of advice will help you. So, these are two things that I've used when I get ready for photo shoots, and these are two things that I try to keep in mind during the time where I'm preparing. And it's something that I've studied a lot. What's the best way to really lose fat without losing muscle? And you're evidently going to lose muscle as well. And first, you really got to be prepared for this. It's very difficult mentally, and you will see your body shrink. By keeping these two things, you will help yourself keep sort of the direction and keep yourself on track. And you shouldn't be focusing too much maybe on the scale or the mirror if it's disencouraging you from continuing. Now, when you do these two things, you have to have a good starting point. So if you don't really have any muscle, maybe this won't help you that much. So this is really for people that have been training, you have a bit of muscle mass already, but you want to cut down the fat so that you look good on a photo shoot, for instance. So, number one, this is regarding the training. You lose what you don't use. What I mean is that the body will remove anything it doesn't need to survive. Now, if you have no need to use your calf muscles or your thighs, the body will take energy from that muscle. It will break it down. The body knows it will need fat. The fat storage is the last thing it wants to give away. The muscles, well, if you're a businessman like me, what do you really need them for? We sit in the office, we take the elevator, we sit in the car, we sit on the couch. I would say if the body had eyes, it would say it's pretty useless, and it would just save the fat for survival and just take your pecs. You don't need those. What are you going to do with your pecs? So the idea is to keep training all muscles in your body and a little bit more frequently than usual. So if you're training for a performance for a specific sport, then of course you need to train. So you break down the muscle fiber, you rest, and during the rest the muscles rebuild and come back stronger so you can train harder the next time, and you feed your body with food that will help you grow, and you make sure you have enough breaks between the training sessions. Now, when it comes to survival and you're on a calorie deficit, now, so at this point, you're eating less than what you're consuming or what your body really needs. So your body weight is going down. Then it really makes sense to train more frequently so that you signal to the body that, yes, I need those pecs. It's very important for my survival. So you might hit them, if your regular training program is to hit every muscle group, let's say twice a week, then you might want to do it 3 times now. And you want to do it in different ways. So maybe you do, cardio type of training for all the muscles. Maybe you do a little bit of explosive mode training. Maybe you do isometric. Maybe you do just eccentric overloading. You don't have to go and do really hardcore workouts, but you do need to keep everything working so that the body really understands that it's vital to keep the muscles. If you have too many rest days, I think you're not going to keep those muscles. So this first tip is really for the training side. You need to keep training. You need to keep active. You lose what you don't use. Okay, number 2. Now this is regarding the nutrition. And this is that you need to make sure you get adequate and frequent doses of protein, and in particular leucine. The amino acid leucine has been proven to be the most vital one for muscle building. And of course, you can't just eat that. You need to eat other foods. You need to have carbs and fats in order to help the body absorb the protein. But you will see that when you go back in history, a lot of people that have been, training for bodybuilding, for photo shoots, the old recipe that has proven to be the most common one, used one, was basically to just focus on protein and cut everything else. Now, this is not healthy, not at all. And I really don't think people should just live like that. I think you should have a balanced diet. But if you want to preserve muscle while you're in a calorie deficit, it's important to have these frequent doses of protein, because the body doesn't store protein. You have to actually consume it with regular intervals. And it might be that if you do it, if you consume every 4 hours 20 to 30 grams of protein, and you make sure that that protein has enough leucine in it, you should be fine. Now then, of course, you're thinking, okay, so I'll make sure I have enough protein. What about fats and carbs? Well, the carbs, I tend to look at it as an energy source. So when I need energy the most, that's when I need the carbs. And if I'm really just focused on cutting down, getting shredded for a photo shoot, it's the training that I want to focus on. So that means I'm going to be tired. I'm going to feel bad during the day. I'm not going to be good at work. My brain won't function as good as usual, but I will have carbs for the workout, before, during, after, and I will be, pumped up, really energetic, focused on the workout, so I can train and I can help the body really use all muscles. So like the first point, we can maintain the muscle mass and just sort of use everything the body has for that particular purpose. But it has these side effects that you will feel really weak during the day, and might be difficult to sleep. And these are sort of sacrifices and things why I don't recommend you to stay with a very low body fat the whole year around. This is something that it's nice to do temporarily. You get some nice photos, and it's amazing when you have these photos. It's a great memory as well. So I think everyone can do it as long as they know what to do and how to do it, but you should never overdo it. So number 1, you lose what you don't use. And number 2, get adequate protein. And with these 2 guidelines, you will go really far. You have to be in a calorie deficit, but then you just need to remember these 2 things. And I had great results with it, and I think you will as well. But of course, be careful, and it's no use of doing this back and forth. You set a goal and you go for it. Maybe it's, you can give yourself a lot of time so you don't drop your weight too fast, and hopefully that will also help the body adjust and not go into a state where it just freezes up. Because that what happens a lot is that the body, it will adapt and it will start to panic at some point. When your body fat is very low, it will try to really fight to lose more fat. Fat is essential for the body, and it's essential for survival. Okay, so with these 2 tips, I hope you can get started. I'm the author of the Fit Businessman book. My name is Eric Snell, and you can go on ExplosiveMode.com and learn all about training and nutrition, especially if you're a workaholic like me, you have family and you feel like you don't have time, you don't have the energy, and you think that training and nutrition is only for guys in the fitness industry or in the police force, then this book might just change your mind. And I hope I can impact your life so you can do the changes that you want and you can have a body that you really love, regardless of your age. So, I'm Eric Snell, and I'll see you at work.